What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Jeremiah Wonders. Thank you so much for coming back, liking, commenting, subscribing. All that stuff helps. The merch support, watching my special on Amazon Prime. I appreciate you guys so much. Macofsky is on the show today. We had a lot of fun riffing, catching up, singing. There's a lot of good stuff in this episode. Without further ado, you guys are going to enjoy Macofsky on Jeremiah Wonders. Thanks for being here.
Happy to be here.
In person, in the fresh.
Feeling fresh.
Macofsky. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. I just ate a lot of Jack in the Box.
What did you get at Jack in the Box? Because I saw you come in with, it was a little bit of a statement, to be honest. You came in with a huge, what size is that?
Oh, this is only a medium.
Are you serious?
I thought about going large and I was like, tone it down, you're going on a podcast.
Isn't it embarrassing sometimes when you do go for a large at a fast food restaurant and you're like, I feel confident about this choice, but then it doesn't fit in a cup holder?
Oh, yeah.
And then you just feel so gross.
You're like, am I the problem or is my car manufacturer the problem?
Yeah. Do I need to talk to Hyundai
is
right now?
Is it me or Kia?
Yeah, exactly.
But
I thought the Kia had soul. Like, what's going on here?
No soul in that car.
No soul in that car.
Once you put Jack in the Box in the passenger seat with the seatbelt on, the soul has left the automobile.
It's left. It's done.
Yeah. But these fast food companies, they know what they're doing because they have the slim, thick drink cups now. So at the bottom, it's real nice and tight.
Yeah.
And then it really gets nice and juicy up at top.
That's how I like things. Thin at the base and then just huge at the top.
Like every PE teacher.
Yep.
PE teachers always have the tiniest legs, calves, and then just ripped.
Just huge.
They look like a flipped upside down traffic cone.
Do you remember your PE teacher's name?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was their name? Guy or girl?
Girl.
Okay.
Well, I had a couple, but I have one that stands out. It was Miss Navarro, I think.
Oh.
Miss Navarro?
Navarro? Like,
I don't know.
Like Dave Navarro, yeah. Like.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was also in the Foo Fighters.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet.
No, she did have a Foo Fighters haircut, though. A little Dave Grohl. Wait, who's Dave Navarro?
I wasn't going to mention it, but he's not.
Yeah, no, I
Foo
realized
Fighters.
quickly that I fucked up. Because as soon as I said Dave Grohl, I'm like, different.
Yeah.
Wait, Dave Navarro, don't tell me. Did he have a reality show at one point?
I believe so.
Yeah. And was he married to Carmen Electra? No.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson.
No.
You know?
I'm thinking of he has long hair, wears eyeliner. Dave Navarro.
It's probably.
Can I do a quick
Do a quick goog. Do a quick goog. Do a quick goog.
Shout out to Mark Norman.
Yep.
Gotta do a goog.
Gotta do a goog.
Can you do a Mark Norman impression?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dave Navarro. He had a reality show with Carmen Electra.
Oh, well, you were dead on then.
I was, minus the Foo Fighters.
Carmen Electra from Good Burger? I think so.
Carmen Electra from Foo Fighters?
Carmen,
the drummer, Taylor?
Carmen Electra was everything to me in Good Burger. I was like, who is this woman? And then I found out it was Carmen Electra later on.
Yeah, smoke show.
Yep.
Real smoke show.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching some old reality television. I miss like old school 2005 reality shows.
Like Bret Michaels and stuff like that?
Yeah, Rock of Love. But I just remembered this one show that was on MTV. It was called The 70s House.
The 70s House. I don't know if I remember that one.
It's the worst concept for a reality show.
What is the concept? I don't remember it at all.
Natasha Leggero actually was like one of the hosts on it.
Really?
Yeah, and first of all, the prize sucks. You get like a Europe trip and also like some like PC games.
Some of those game shows have horrible prizes, and people are like stoked. I think just to be on TV more than anything. But 100%. Like you look back at some of the prizes and you're like, that wasn't even that good. And the like as an adult, you start processing the taxes alone that you'd have to pay on that gift.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'd.
Well, Andrew, like, am I really trying to like do this competition for a PC computer?
Yeah.
Like, do I really want to? The point of the 70s house show, whatever it is Everyone just has to pretend like they're in the 70s. They're in this house. There's no modern technology. They have to get rid of all their clothes that are modern, all their makeup, hair care products. Everything they eat has to be like 70s games or 70s. Everything's
Wow.
70s. The lingo, they can't say like, what up? They have to be like, howdy, or I don't know how people talk in the 70s. But if they're caught slipping, they're booted.
Wow. I don't remember the show.
I've been rewatching it. It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
Is that, do you go in deep dives on YouTube?
Always. I have
and
so
then
many
you realize,
tabs
like,
open.
how did I get here?
Oh, yeah, it's dark. I call it a YouTube K-hole.
My buddy would send me links to videos, bizarre videos, and they would have 38 views. And I'm like, dude, how did you find this? He goes, I don't know, man. I went down a rabbit hole and I thought you'd enjoy this video. I was like, it has 38 views. How are you one of the people that found that?
Yeah, you're like, this is a decapitation video. I don't want this.
Yeah.
That's why I like TikTok, because the rabbit hole is just provided for you. The whole thing is a rabbit hole.
Yeah. Well, I know people who scroll on TikTok or they just watch it for hours and hours.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's easy to get sucked in on something like that when it's just like, here you go. Here you go. What about this? No, you don't like that? We're going to fix this until you like every single video that's being thrown your way.
Well, that's my favorite, because every once in a while, most of the time, I always get phlegmy after I eat a big meal. Does that happen to you? No one I know gets phlegmy.
I get phlegmy after pasta.
Oh, interesting. I get phlegmy
Yeah.
after anything.
Really? Anything?
Yeah. If I have like a decent sized meal afterwards, I'm always.
What if it's something like that's dry? Do you still get phlegmy?
I guess not. I guess it has to have a little bit of
Some
sauce to
juices,
it.
some
Yeah.
sauce.
Because I get phlegmy after salad, after Jack in the Box, a wet burrito.
You know my two staples: salad, Jack in the Box,
It
wet
is.
burritos. Yeah.
I do love salads.
I mean, I had more on the latter side of Jack in the Box, and there used to be a Jack in the Box right by where I lived, and I would
mean,
go
there
to that.
still is.
I mean, they're everywhere.
I just want.
But oh, you went to the one? Okay,
Mhm.
all right. I
Mhm.
see you. I haven't been to that one yet.
And the girl at the drive-thru, her makeup was so good. I love seeing like attractive people at drive-thrus, because it makes me feel like if comedy doesn't work out, at least I can be a cute little Jack in the Box girl.
I mean, I think that the music video that T.I. made, Whatever You Like, I don't know if you've seen that music video or not. I think it's every fast food employee's dream who works there. It's a pretty girl who's working at a chicken joint, and T.I. comes in and gives her like $100 bill. It says keep the change and his numbers on it or whatever.
Ooh.
And then she calls him, and then she's on like private jets and stuff with him, and he just takes her everywhere. And then like it goes back to the end of the video, and it was one of those things that it never happened. Like it was all just like in her head the entire time. Yeah,
That was like me working at any food service job I had. Anytime someone came in, the last food service job I had, if people came in and they were using those like heavy black cards where you like know that they're important.
Oh, they're. I used to get them at Starbucks all the time, where they sometimes wouldn't swipe because they were so sharp. Yeah.
They're dangerous.
They're
Those
thick.
are weapons.
Oh
yeah.
no, you could easily, if you really gripped it,
They're heavy.
throat slit, blood everywhere. Yeah.
You're catching an artery on that thick card.
Mm-hmm.
I would always swipe their card for them so I could see what their name was, and then I would Google them.
Did you get any successful results?
There was one. There was one.
Let's just say after I swiped, there was some phlegm in my mouth.
There was a lot of phlegm.
A lot of phlegm.
And no, there was one guy who was related to a celebrity. I guess he's kind of a celebrity, but not well known. But he would come in all the time, and then it felt weird because I felt like I already knew this side of him that I never told him, like, hey, I know who your family is. But me and him became friends because he would come in all the time, and then I would like run into him when I was babysitting because he had kids. Then I'd like see him at the park, which was always weird because I'm like, hey, I give you chicken. I worked at a chicken joint. I'm like T.I. T.I.'s little bae.
I went there one time and visited you with Rick Cossack.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was a long time ago.
That was great. I loved that job.
I mean, that food was really good there.
So good. Shout out to Love Baked Wings on Melrose Avenue.
Love baked wings.
My favorite food service job.
Did they hook you up? Would you get as much food as you wanted while you worked there, kind of thing, or did they give you like discounted meals?
No, I got hooked up.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck
I
yeah.
got hooked up. I became homies with everyone in the kitchen because I speak poquito español. So I'd be like, what's up?
And
¿Qué pasa?
yeah, Chico Blanco.
Sí.
See.
They call me La Güera.
What is that?
Just like little white girl.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. It's like a term of endearment, but also like a put down.
Sure.
It's like, know your place.
But also it's like, hey.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So the wings, can I get some?
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do at the Comedy Store for years. I would just hook up the cooks with some tip money, and they'd hook it up with fries and chicken and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of meals for me. A lot of late night meals where I'd be too hungry to go somewhere before my spot, and I didn't want to leave. Like, I was like, am I going to go up, or is somebody else going to swoop in last minute and go on at their actual time, or I don't know.
And it's stressful because when I was working there, I would order food, but then by the time it gets there, you're like in the middle of doing something, and the timing never works out, and then you have like a big bowl of mac and cheese, and you're like, I'll take out the trash in a second. I'm like a raccoon, just mac and cheese all
I've
over
got
me.
garbage hands right now. Can I eat this mac and cheese real quick?
Yeah.
How long did you work at the store for?
I think like 6 months.
6 months. Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't like that tremendously long.
No, because I think Adam had offered me a job a while before I actually started working there, because I'd been interested in working there. I really wanted to get a job there. And then by the time that it came up, I felt like I wasn't ready to work there. Just in terms of like my past experience working places, I was just such a shitty employee.
You didn't want to mess it up because it's an important place.
Yes, and so I didn't want to go there, be a really bad employee, and then have me being a bad employee affect me as a stand-up comedian.
I've seen it happen to multiple people where they get fired from the store, and then it's like, you kind of screwed your path there.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
so
because now people look at you as a bad employee. They don't see the funny comic. You're just that dick who screwed them over.
Yeah, and I was already like friends with all the door guys, so I'm like, I don't want that to change either, where they're like, oh, Allie's lazy, or Allie isn't like like shows up late, selfish, whatever. So then
she's the worst human being ever.
Yeah, I hate
Can't stand her.
Yeah, she should die. So I didn't take the job at the time, and then when I was finally ready to take the job, I felt like comedy started picking up for me, but not enough to the point where I was like, I don't need a job.
Well, I remember when you were starting to go on the road a little bit more with some different comics, and while you were still working at the store, and I feel like that was a very interesting kind of transitionary phase for you, just because you were doing stadiums on the weekends.
Yeah.
And then you were, coming back to the Comedy Store and, doing certain jobs there, taking out trash, like cleaning up bathrooms, stuff like that. So how did you kind of balance that in your head, like to not like let it get to your head while it was going on?
Well, I knew I really wanted to work there, and I wanted to kind of be a part of the Comedy Store in a different way than just because I had been going there since before I was even allowed to go there. I was like 19 going to the Comedy Store.
I remember, yeah.
And so, and also I was like drinking there, which they could have gotten in a lot of trouble for. So in a way, I wanted to like work there almost, this sounds corny or weird, but it was almost like I wanted to like give back, because I felt like the Comedy Store had already given me so much. And yeah. I felt like it was such a special place that I wanted to be a part of its history in a different way than just hanging out there and like doing random shows.
Sure.
So I got the job, but yeah, I was like at a weird place where after I got the job, then I started going on the road with these comedians who I looked up to, and then doing like bigger shows, and like I didn't think that I was better than working there when doing that.
Yeah.
It was a funny like juxtaposition of like flying out with, Joe, doing an arena in front of 10,000 people, like staying at a nice hotel and just like getting the coolest experience ever. Like literally living my dream.
Yeah.
And then going to the Comedy Store like the next Monday, taking out the trash and stuff. But I was like, I haven't made it. Like, this is a very cool experience, but just because I got to do that doesn't mean I've like made it in any way. It's just like part of
that cool journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that I would be going in early to like to set up for stand up on the spot and stuff, and then you would be like setting up chairs in the belly room like for the show, and I was like, how's your weekend? Like that look like because you know on Instagram and stuff we see little snippets and stuff, and I was like, look pretty crazy. You're like, yeah, and it was a good time, but like you've always been like it was a good time, but I'm back here now, and it's a good attitude to have. I think like in general with I've been out here now like over 11 years. I came out here in 2009, so coming up on 12 years this summer. But that's something that I have benefited from, is not ever trying to get too far ahead of myself. I mean, it's happened before over the years for sure. Like I think it naturally happens to anybody when you're thinking certain things are going to happen. You're like, oh, this is the thing, and then you're like, oh no, not yet. Okay, I need to chill. Like be grateful for what's going on, and then kind of keep on going.
And I think having been at the Comedy Store since I started and getting to see other people do those types of things where they start to go on the road or they start becoming the headliners, things like that. I think even though it had only happened to me within like 5 years, I still had enough time to see, like, I think early on I would get really excited about like doing a guest spot at the Brea Improv for one of my friends, and there's like 30 people in the audience, but it's like my first real club set.
Yeah.
And like, you know, now that I look back, I didn't mean to, but like with my friends, I'd be like, I'm going to be at Brea, and like I'd be posting all about it and kind of being like annoying about it. And so now I try not to be, because then other people get things or that's not good enough, and you know, whatever. I try not to make anything too big of a deal.
Yeah.
Because you see it happen to other people where they like get super fired up, and like you start to be like, damn, like, am I supposed to, like, is that what I want? Or like, am I supposed to do that? And then, I don't know, I think it's better to just kind of be a little bit more low-key about it.
I agree with you 100%. To comment on that as well, I would say some advice that I would give to younger comics, because this is something that I did all the time. If somebody that I looked up to or respected would ask me when we were at the clubs, like, hey, Jeremiah, how you doing? I would start foaming at the mouth of all the things that I was doing comedy-wise.
Yeah.
I just hit this mic, I just did this, all this stuff, because I wanted to prove to them that I was working.
Yeah.
Where that's not what they were asking.
Yeah.
They're trying to get to know you as a person. They're not like wanting to hear how many spots you're doing. They're not they've been through the grind.
Yeah.
And if you're doing the grind, people know it.
They know, yeah.
You don't need to tell people.
Yeah.
Like they see it. It's more like the actions speak louder than words. It goes back to something that easy, but that's something that I was guilty of for years and years, until I even realized like later on when I started asking comics a couple years ago, casually I'd ask them, and then they were telling me, I was like, oh, this is freaking annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's a desperation thing. It's trying to prove like, hey, I belong here, I belong here, I belong here. But if you belong there, like, people know.
Yeah.
Like they get it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, no, this person's funny.
Yeah.
You're chill, dude. It's all good.
Yeah, that's also the cool thing about working. I mean, it's the pros and cons of working at the Comedy Store. It's like you do get to talk to comedians that are, you know, more successful in a way that's different than just the average person hanging out doing mics at the Comedy Store. But at the same time, you're also in work uniform, you know, it feels different in a good way and in a bad way. But I feel like there was one time when Mark Maron was about to go on in the main room, and I love Mark Maron, and I'm not the type of person who just like goes up to comics and tries to be like, what's going on? But because I was in the uniform, you know, I'm supposed to be standing in that spot where he was standing, like waiting to go up. So I'm just like there. And then I got to like ask him a question, and then it like led into this whole, you know, we were having a conversation. He had just done the Joker, so we were talking about that. And it was just so cool because I felt like there was no other scenario where I could have like approached him in that way and had that conversation. Yeah,
there's got to be definitely more of a safe feeling for comics with employees. I mean, I definitely feel it. If they're at the store, it's like they already have the seal of approval. Not that I'm a pretty approachable guy, So I'm usually down to talk to anybody, but it does add a little extra comfort if they're working there. It's like, oh, I'm going to be seeing them all the time. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't work there anymore though. Oh yeah, but then I stopped because I felt like luckily things were picking up more so in a way where I'm like, I don't want to be the employee now who calls out all the time or has to get shifts covered all the time. And I kind of told myself when I started, I'm like, the only time that I'll leave this job is if I don't have time for it anymore.
Yeah.
And that was great. I mean, 6 months, I did it. I did my tour.
Yeah.
My run, and then.
So what's been your calendar year like this last year? Because it's been a weird one for a lot of comedians.
Mm-hmm.
What were some highlights and some lowlights, I guess you'd say?
So, I mean, the highlight was January 2020, right before COVID. I got to it kind of worked out perfectly. I got offered to do comedy on a rave cruise.
Wow.
And I mean, I wasn't going to do it because I'm like, first of all, who goes on a rave cruise? Second of all, who goes to a comedy show on a rave cruise? And I was like, you know what? This will be fun. I get to my set time, my allotted time to do stand-up was like an hour. And at this point, I hadn't headlined yet, but I knew that I was about to start headlining like the following month.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? If there's no better place to run an hour than on a rave cruise.
It's the best. If you already have the gig, it's like you're not gonna. It's a cruise. You're not gonna get fired while you're out in the middle of the ocean. It's like they're gonna keep working you the rest of the week and then just not use you again. So the stakes are low if you think about it that way.
Yeah. So it was nice, and it ended up being the most fun I've ever had, and the shows were great, and it really made me feel confident going into those headlining gigs because when you get like your first headlining gig, you're like, I can't do it.
Sure.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I can do an hour, but I don't know if it's going to be funny.
Yeah. I can
all the
fill
way through.
the time.
Yeah.
But right.
So I was really nervous about that and like very low confidence in myself. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to do my first headlining weekend and then have them like call my manager or agent and be like, actually, Allie's not that good,
Yeah, that's scary to get a call, like a not ready call.
Yeah.
Because then that, obviously would mess up work in the future, but.
Yeah. So it ended up being super fun. Did the shows on the rave cruise, had a great time, and then did my first headlining weekend, tried to do my second, and during my second, after the first show, I canceled the rest of the weekend, had to come home because I heard LA was going to be on lockdown. And I didn't know what lockdown meant, so I'm like, I don't want to be stuck in Denver.
Gotcha.
So I just came back home and...
I'm sure they're understanding that, though. I mean, such weird times.
Yeah, and this was like right at the start, so
Yeah.
It was very like confusing, weird time. So I just went home, but so that was like the highlight was the headlining, and then the low light was after doing one full weekend of headlining, having COVID happen, and then just being like, I guess I'll do it another time.
The last show that I did right before the pandemic started was at the Huntington Beach Rec Room, and I did I had a handful of comics with me because I had a feeling that it was gonna be all of our last show for a while. So
Yeah.
we packed the lineup. It was like William Montgomery and Joel and Gage and CJ Landry, and we all went down to the rec room, and William's opening line, he said something like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I feel a little sick. And people were already like hearing about it and stuff like that because everything shut down on Monday and that show was on Saturday. So like people were like, and he had to dig himself out of a huge, after people were just cheering for him, so excited to see him, that he immediately dug a hole, and then he got out of it immediately. But it was so funny to watch. I was just dying laughing in the back.
That's what I love about William.
Yeah.
I mean, I love pretty much everything about William, but that's what I love the most is that he just knows what he's gonna say.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't care.
He does not care.
It doesn't change based on who's in the audience, what's going on in the world. He's like, I gotta talk about Gophers too.
Oh yeah. I saw him. We did a show. He did a guest spot on my show in Austin at Vulcan Gas Company. He just did that one. That venue's awesome, by the way.
It's fun.
And William, in the middle of his set, he was telling somebody to shut up,
and then we find out he was talking to the waitress, telling her to shut up, and the owner was like, is there a heckler or something down there? And somebody's like, I think he's talking to the waitress. And he's just like, I'm just kidding. But seriously, your orders are loud.
Oh my God.
So shut up. And it was great.
William makes me feel like I'm a child with my alcoholic parent, and I'm like, it's fine, I swear, like he's okay.
Yeah, he doesn't do this all the time. He's real nice. He's good.
Yeah. Trust me, he's fine. He's just a little bit loud.
Yeah. It's very cool for me. I've had literally nothing to do with your journey, but I've just been like somebody who is a friend who's just kind of watching along, and I like seeing growth and accomplishments that are happening to good people. So it's cool to see you go, to have me see you in a different light entirely, where essentially we're doing a show that is like an open mic panel kind of show, Kill Tony, where you're a regular, and to see you do a minute every week and to see you work on different minutes, and then to piece that together and restructure it into an actual act, start hosting for people, start featuring for people. Now you're headlining. It's a pretty awesome arc to do in the last 5 years. So like, if ever you're feeling down or whatever, like take a step back and take a moment and be really proud of what you've already accomplished like in this time. It's awesome.
For sure. I'm very grateful. It is crazy. You have seen it all.
I know.
You've seen it all.
I literally like the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was thinking about it before you came over today. I was like, this is probably one of my friends that like I can think of where I've seen the whole trajectory. Because you see a lot of people come in from other cities and other towns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I saw you do some of your first handfuls of sets at the Comedy Store, and then you weren't allowed to do sets there because they found out that you weren't old enough, that's a pretty punk rock story, by the way.
Pretty cool.
To be like, oh, sorry, you caught me for being too young. All right, I'll come back a little bit later.
And then I came back on my birthday at midnight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
One of your talents outside of being a great comedian on stage is you've got a great voice. And
Somebody say great voice. Oh, don't even get me started. Okay, I see you. What you got over there?
Oh yeah, did someone say I have a great voice?
I guess.
I was talking to the girl that was actually in front of you, but you kind of jumped into the conversation. But I guess I'll talk to you.
Sure.
What's your name?
My name's Trisha.
Trisha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, Trisha, what do you say we grab a bite to eat somewhere?
Are you asking me on a date or something?
I was thinking about it, but I'm actually starting to not feel the same way I was. Nothing against the way
You're toxic. You're literally gaslighting me right now.
What? Could you explain gaslighting for somebody who is...
Oh, of course you want me to explain it to you. You know exactly what you're doing. You're literally gaslighting me right now.
Could you explain to me what gaslighting is? I'm an older guy now. I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, you're playing dumb to get me to say something, and then you're gonna say I'm crazy and that I'm lying.
Listen, I don't think that you're crazy. I don't think that you're lying. I'm trying to learn something and connect with you.
Okay, fine.
So what's this gaslighting term?
Gaslighting is pretty much like the worst thing you can do, and people are talking about COVID being a pandemic. Have you been on Tinder? Have you been on Bumble? Gaslighting is the biggest pandemic right now.
Okay, Trisha, I'm really sorry that I offended you. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you?
Next time before you talk to me, say trigger warning.
Trigger warning?
Yeah, because you're triggering me.
Oh, I'm sorry, but also I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit grossed out at the same time.
Why are you grossed out?
I'm grossed out that you are a person that is real.
Yeah, I'm real. I'm from Portland.
You're from Portland?
Yeah,
Okay,
my dad works at Nike. If you need a hookup, I got you.
I mean, that sounds enticing. I'm literally wearing Nike SBs right now. I love their products, but I will say that I don't think I could handle having a relationship with you to get to your dad.
Of course you can't handle it because I'm a strong female.
I'm starting to wonder, how female are you? Your voice is real all over the place. And I don't mean to be offensive or anything.
My pronouns are she, her, and also that bitch.
You identify as that bitch.
Yeah, I'm 100% that bitch.
Okay. Well, Trisha, I have to know this. What did you dress up for Halloween this year?
Let me guess. You dressed up as an indigenous person and thought it was funny and wore a headdress?
That was like 10 years ago.
Whatever.
Do you still call it? So I'm guessing you don't call it Columbus Day.
Columbus, never say the C word again. I'd rather have you call me a cunt.
Wait, whoa, that's the C word to you is Columbus?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I can smell your breath
That
from all the way.
colonizer.
Oh, you used to use another. Oh, you
Columbus.
used another C word, colonizer. Oh, God. I'm wondering if you are possessed, because are you possessed by a woke spirit? Like, or is this you all the time? Because it's pretty exhausting.
I'm not possessed. I'm also a witch. I practice.
Oh, you're a Wiccan?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but like, I don't know.
Did you just say I don't know?
I don't know. Did you just say that? I don't know.
I'm asking you if you said I don't know,
Yeah,
because
I don't know. I don't remember what I said.
because I can barely understand the consonants because you're slurring all your words
It's
together.
because you're not trying to understand me, and also I'm on ketamine.
Oh, okay. This makes a lot more sense.
No, whatever. Everyone does ketamine now.
Wait, were you one of the people who attended Allie's headlining set on the rave comedy show on the boat?
Maybe. I don't know.
Do you remember any of Allie's jokes that night?
I don't even remember what yesterday was.
Well, yesterday
My
was...
brain is literally fried.
Okay, well, it sounds that way. Trisha, I don't know how much longer...
Is Trisha my name?
Was it something else?
It was Trisha. I just wanted to trick you. I'm a witch.
You are a witch. Why are you tricking me? Okay, that laugh was very creepy.
It's my real laugh. I practiced it in the mirror for 12 hours one day.
I don't know how. Maybe it's because you're a witch that you've kept me in this conversation for as long as you can, because you're fascinating. Everything that I ask you, you've spun in a different direction.
Yeah, because I'm a witch and I spin weaves like spiders.
I mean, you do have a witch hat on with spider webs on it, so... Trisha, I think I'm going to have to say goodbye. I'm shocked that I even was attracted to you at the very beginning of this conversation.
I don't blame you.
All right, well, I think I'm just going to leave now.
Namaste.
Can you... All right, goodbye.
Bye.
I guess I need to oil up that arm.
The ghost of Trisha's laugh still haunts us.
That's just the end of the bit. Just
Yeah.
That's definitely a real
It's a
woman
real
out there.
person. Oh yeah,
That's happening.
I know them.
Full woman.
Yeah,
Full woman.
it's a nightmare.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Ignore them.
That's what we gotta do.
That's fun.
You killed it.
Thank you.
I'm glad that some people will lean into the effects mic, and then some people aren't comfortable with it. Man, duck to water over there. Just freaking vaping, just killing the game.
I like doing stuff. That's why I like what you do, because I always get too like nervous or embarrassed to like do characters or whatever. But when I was in college, I did like my improv college team for a semester and I loved it. It was so fun.
Yeah.
But with stand up, it's one of those things where I'm like, my brain doesn't, I get too nervous, too self-conscious. So I admire you for being able to slip in and out of characters during your stand up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's something that definitely had to work on for years for it to be a more not annoying thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where if you don't know how to dismount properly or get into it easily, then it's just too presentational, and then it breaks the feeling of stand-up. You know what I mean? Stand-up is supposed to be natural.
I think a lot of times when people do characters, they're focusing more on doing the character than doing the stand-up. So I think it's nice to be able to focus on the stand-up first and find a way to add the characters into that. That way the stand-up is funny as well as the characters.
That's the goal.
Right?
That's the goal. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I was mentioned that you have a good voice, and you also are a big fan of Lady Gaga.
Oh my God, I love Lady Gaga. I love her.
I have a little bit of a surprise for you that I
Lady
thought...
Gaga's here? She just crawls from the ceiling.
From the ceiling. I would like to reenact a scene from Star is Born.
Oh my God, I would love that. Yes. I would love that.
I couldn't even finish it. And you're like,
Yes.
Trisha came back. Like,
The ghost.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a guitar behind me,
Of course.
and I have if you look underneath your table,
Oh, it's like Oprah.
there's some lyrics just in case you need a refresher.
Oh my God, there's $1,000 in here?
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, we got this. I don't need the lyrics.
What?
I don't need the lyrics. Come on.
All right. Okay.
Am I doing a filter on my voice?
I don't think so. I don't think you need it.
Just waiting until you hear my voice after that Jack in the Box.
I mean, yeah, I think it'll be better without it. We can always add some reverb or whatever.
Could I try some of these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it. Real voice.
Gross. Yeah, I freaking hate my voice.
Do you?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I don't like it. In the moment, I like it. And then if I listen to myself back singing, I'm like, this is bad.
Are you talking about singing voice or talking voice?
Singing voice.
Yeah.
I've come to accept my talking voice.
What does that mean?
I mean, I have such a lame talking voice.
It's just a dry tone.
It just sounds like I'm always eating like mashed potatoes or something. Like I'm just always like working through a high fiber meal.
You know, that saliva's going, you know what I mean? All right, let me grab this guitar. Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself.
Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself. Of the deep end watches I dive in, I'll never meet the ground. Crash to the surface where they can't hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. shallow. In the shallow. In the shallow. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, we're far from the shallow now.
That was real pretty.
Thank you. We have a new accessory.
Just a wig and earring?
Yeah.
That was real nice. That was shallow.
My name is Allie, and I gotta switch my mics because I like this one a lot. Ooh, I'm gonna take you to church, baby, but not for God. I'm gonna finger you behind the bleachers. If you ain't getting fingered at church, did you ever even go to church? Everyone I know got fingered at church.
Is this a real story?
Of course it is. Everyone at church got fingered there. Technically it was a threesome there.
I'm just gonna say, I've never been fingered in church.
Then you didn't go to church.
I think that we went to two different kind of churches, Allie.
I only went to church that fingers you outside of the church room.
I don't know if you ever went inside the church or if a weird dude is just standing outside the church saying that he was a part of the church and saying that he was the pastor, but he was just trying to get past her. And you know what I'm saying, Allie?
I know what you're saying, but it's totally inaccurate. I went to church.
Did you go to church?
Every Tuesday.
Tuesday is not a typical day to go to church, so that's where you have a little hole in your story.
I understand. Wait, now it's not even. Hello. Hello. I went to church on Tuesday.
She went to church on Tuesday.
They also had it on Sunday.
They also had it on Sunday.
No one gets fingered on the Lord's Day.
No, they don't.
So I had to go on Tuesday to get fingered by some other guys who also went to church on Tuesdays, but none of us were religious.
So you're saying that there were no sermons on Tuesday, but you went to church on that Tuesday to get a little bit of loving outside the church, and little boys doing some work on the vag that you have.
Your parents will let you go out of the house if you say you're going to church. What they don't know is after church we all get fingered in the basketball court.
Now was it the kind of basketball basketball court where they slip the rims in and the baskets, or were they actually connected to the floor?
It was cemented basketball courts. Everything was connected to the ground the way God connects our feet to His Spirit.
Okay, I think I'm feeling you right finally. Yeah.
I ended up getting baptized at the church in a hot tub.
Okay, I don't know what kind of church you go to, but you can get baptized in a hot tub.
Yeah, you can, 'cause I did.
Please tell me that's a real story. If that's a real story, I'm going to love you.
It's a real story, and the jets were turned on in the hot tub.
Was there release holy water in this hot tub?
Any water you get fingered in is holy. If you think about it, any water you get fingered in is holy.
5-star joke. And girls keep running and running and running and running and running and running and running running.
In no context to the disrespect, so when I bust my rhymes, you break your neck. We got 5 minutes for us to disconnect from all. This is so fun, man. I would play with this all day.
This episode of Jeremiah Wonders is brought to you by Sheath Underwear, the homies hooking it up with that 2-pouch compartment. What does that mean, Jeremiah? It means your penis goes in one hole and your balls go in like a little kangaroo pouch. And it sounds weird and it sounds awkward, but it feels amazing. Imagine a support bra for your balls and your penis. It's good stuff, guys. Also, they look nice. They're sleek. They look designer. You know, I've got a white pair with gold triangles. It looks like I'm the freaking Power Ranger. The White Ranger? I mean, come on. There's so many good designs and so many different modal spandex kind of material that's just like, it hugs you in all the right places and just makes you feel nice. It doesn't ever get itchy. You never get like sweaty or sticky because everything is separated. And if you're not into putting your penis and your balls into separate things, you don't have to wear them like that. You can just wear them like normal underwear. I do that if my penis is sometimes too cold to fit into the hole because it's shrinked. Sometimes I don't even put it in there. I just wear it as normal underwear. Anyway, guys, the idea for a sheath came from U.S. Army soldier Robert Patton. He came up with the idea during his second tour in Iraq. Support this awesome veteran-owned company because guess what? They support me, and they're good people. And if they're able to fight in Iraq, they're able to fight for Jeremiah Wonders and his right to party and podcast. Go to sheathunderwear.com and use promo code Jeremiah to get 20% off your first order. Every order comes with Sheath Underwear's 100% money-back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com, promo code Jeremiah. Get Sheath Underwear and let them support your balls. Now, let's get back into this episode of Jeremiah Wonders with my pal, Ali Macofsky.
There were some. I'm gonna say there were some moments when we were doing Shallow where I was like, really feeling the harmonies.
Tell me something, girl. Yeah, it's a fun song. The Shallow always trips people up because they do a lot of la la la's, but
I might have done too many.
No, you do. I think the right amount of laws, but I've kind of subdued the laws.
Or they're supposed to be more or less.
In the shallow, in the shallow.
Oh, so the first time is just as?
I think so.
In the shallow.
I don't know. I feel like that's what's great about the song is it's open for interpretation.
Shallow.
You know that it wasn't supposed to be la 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 la, but they wanted to make it a little poppy for Gaga.
That makes sense.
Yeah. In the shallow.
In the shallow. In the shallow.
You have to pretend you're getting into a very hot bathtub. In the shallow. Yeah. That's like every Alicia Keys song too. It all sounds like you're going into a really hot bathtub.
I want to get into this next segment with
Yeah,
you.
let's get into it.
It's called Fanning Out.
Oh.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
Now, Allie, I asked people if they could ask you any questions or give any scene or character suggestions. What would they be? Epic Good on Instagram says, can you beat Jeremiah and skate?
I don't know. I can
You
only
might be
do
able
like
to.
2 tricks.
What are your tricks?
I can do an ollie,
Okay.
classic, and I can do a
Classic.
shove it.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
You
We-
could probably beat me in a game of skate.
Probably, but not by much. Not by much. And I've been skating much longer, a sad amount of time, but the problem is it's one of those sports where you have to stick with it all the time. Well, it's just like any other sport. You have to be consistent with it, and my consistency has never been there.
Yeah.
I started in high school. Too late. I mean, people can do it if they really stick to it, but that wasn't like my main focus.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of half-assing it that late in life, you're never going to be that good. But I know some people who started like in college and stuff that are really good, but they skated all the time.
Yeah, I started skating during quarantine and I had this old board and I just kind of got back into it. And just when you fall, I'm only 25, but like when you fall, it hurts so bad. And I love skating. It's so fun, but I'm not as passionate about it to fall and be like, this is going to make me stronger.
I gotta show you this. Do you see this?
Oh,
Okay, so
nice little
this-
scar.
this just happened, and
This
I was
just in.
so mad because it wasn't skateboard related. But that's where I usually would, I'd get shinners and stuff like that. It made me feel like such a freaking old dude. I locked the front door, and I didn't realize that there was a table that was out a little bit farther. It was like a newer coffee table that we got, and I just slammed into it and just gashed it open, it just exploded right away because I just like walked into it so hard where I had glasses on, I had my cell phone, and I had slippers, and they all went
Flew.
everywhere. I just went, and I just
No.
my wife's like, Jeremiah, are you okay? And I was just lying on the floor for a second. Like I fell. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm good. I just need a second.
Don't look at me. Don't talk to me.
Don't acknowledge that I just did this. This is sad.
I'm also like, I bruise very easily. Like I have
Yeah.
a big bruise on my ankle and I don't know how I got it. And I bruise. I look like a domestic abuse victim when I skate because I just end up with bruises everywhere.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then I feel like such a loser when people are like, how'd you get that bruise? And I'm like, skating. There's like no like chill way. It sounds like you're trying to do something. You know what I mean?
Imagine breaking your arm skateboarding and being horrible as a skateboarder.
And also being 25, like, yeah, I just got a skate injury. I've been skating for a few months.
Yeah, it is embarrassing.
But I have insurance for another year, so I'm ready to get injured.
Capitalize on it, man.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm
Go to those
breaking
skate
every
parks.
bone.
Do it, dude. At the Div Life on Instagram, when did Allie catch her first big break in comedy? Her first I've arrived moment.
I feel like my first big break was doing Kill Tony because that was the way that I was able to meet so many successful comedians who normally would never have seen me perform.
Sure.
Like, it was a very unique opportunity where I got to perform in front of comedians that I really looked up to and respected. And kind of, I feel like that was like the start of it all. And then I think Just for Laughs posted a video of one of my comedy sets on their YouTube, and I didn't really have any expectations, but then that got like, I think 2 million views.
Oh, for stand-up, that's amazing. Well, just
Yeah.
any video in general, that's amazing. But even more so for stand-up, it's just harder, it feels like, to get views on that kind of stuff.
Totally. And it's like, it's something where like if I were to have posted it on my YouTube channel, it wouldn't have gotten the views. So I'm really glad that they were able to post it, and I was able to get like traction off that, because I remember like a week later I was doing a show at a bar and people came out being like, oh my God, I just saw your Just for Laughs video.
Oh, sweet.
So it's not like it amounted to a lot. I can't be like, and then I got to do arenas because of that. But it was something that was like very special, where I was like, oh, this is like, people like my comedy, and like they saw it and wanted to go out of their way to come see me perform.
Yeah.
But I feel like Kill Tony was the first thing where I feel like everything else after that has been a result of doing that.
Well, what's good is you've been great at using momentum, which some people sometimes get stagnant, and you're good at parlaying energy into the next thing. That's a great asset to have.
Yeah. I never want to feel comfortable.
Shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yep. Comfort is danger for a comedian.
I remember one time I was at the Comedy Store doing Kill Tony, and Tom Segura was there, and I was like, do you have any advice? Or I don't know if I worded it that way, but I think I was just like talking to him, and maybe he just gave me advice, but he was like, the one thing I can tell you is like, wherever you're living right now, whatever you're doing, like, stay there. Like, don't try and live beyond your means, or like try and like level up before you've made it to level up.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah. But now I'm like, I've been in the same house for 5 years since I've been in the same house for 5 years, and I have like 3 roommates. And so now I'm like, okay, I need to move out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like I'm trying to find like a 1-bedroom or studio.
The first place I had in LA, I stayed there 5 years. And then the next place I stayed, where my wife and I moved in together, we were there for almost 6 years. And we just moved into this place. And yeah, it's just been, I like to stay put for as long as I can. I mean, we literally had to move because we have a child coming into the world where we're like, I think we need a second bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we got to make that happen.
I'm normally the opposite, where I'm like always trying to move. So I think that was like a really great thing for me, is like to be okay with that discomfort and whatever. But now I'm like, okay, I need to move on and start kind of like a new chapter.
Right. This goes off of what you were just talking about with Kill Tony. At Not Chasing Amy asks, what is Allie's favorite Kill Tony moment? Might be hard to narrow it down, but it may be something that comes to mind off, or it could even be a top 5 moment, because I know that there's some cool, there's a lot of cool things that have happened on that show.
So many cool things. I think getting to do like the Kill Tony shows outside of the Comedy Store, that was always a cool experience, because I think at the Comedy Store we're so spoiled with like the people who attend those shows, and there's a lot of like, the regulars who come to watch the Kill Tony, so it's really special to see in a different city how many people get fired up. Like doing Kill Tony in San Francisco was awesome. Moments like that where you're like, whoa, because I think at the Comedy Store you're like, is this as big of a deal anywhere else?
Yeah, you definitely forget, for sure.
Totally. So I think that was always really special. And then I think the first time I got to be on the panel was a really cool moment. And also just the intro to Kill Tony when I was, introduced by Bruce Buffer.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people that would love to have their name said by that guy.
Yeah. And I didn't even realize how big of a deal it was when I did it until later I got to go to a UFC fight in person.
Yeah. Then you saw the electricity in person. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's so sick that he said my name. It like made me appreciate it more after the fact.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm _only_Hyomin on Instagram. What was your favorite Halloween costume you've ever worn?
Guy Fieri.
Ooh.
I had shaved off all my hair, and then I think like a year or 2 later, my hair was the perfect length. It was like perfect. And because I'd been dyeing my hair blonde, like my dark roots came in, and then I had the blonde on the tips, and I spiked it, and I found the perfect glasses, and I found the perfect bowling shirt, and I was like a very convinced, like it wasn't like I'm going to be a hot Guy Fieri. It was like, I want people to ask me for food recommendations.
That is Guy Fieri over there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
think that was like the one costume where I was like, damn, this is like real Halloween.
This one comes from Brian.J.1525. Last time she pooped them pants?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm about to right now after that Jack in the Box. I was just thinking, I'm like clenching my ass cheeks as we speak. The last time I pooped my pants was in college, but I've definitely had some like slippery moments where you don't quite poop your pants, but you're
Sure.
like, something happened.
Yeah.
There's not a full poop in there, but something dark has happened in the butt area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Alex, the nail banger, says, how much money have you made off your feet?
So
what does that mean?
So, people, the foot fetish people, they're a strong community, they're a big community, they're a loving community, and
Is it like OnlyFans kind of thing?
No, I mean there's definitely like OnlyFans type of things for feet or
Right.
whatever, but there's also like websites for foot pics and whatnot, and I was like, oh, why don't I try and monetize off of this as a joke, because
Yeah.
I feel like foot fetish is like I don't know,
It's so hack.
yeah, I mean
You're like, is this a real thing? And they're like, oh, this is a real clientele.
I feel like people were talking about it so much that it became like a parody of itself. So I'm like, oh, I might as well just play into this and like hide my feet and see if I can make money off of it as a joke, but also kind of seriously. I'm like, if there's a market for it, I'm
Why
not
not?
ashamed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I made this Instagram called Only Feet Allie Mac. And I forgot the password, so I can't even log into it anymore. But it was a private account just for my feet pics. And if you wanted to be accepted, like if you wanted to follow the account, you had to Venmo me $50. But only like 3 people like tried to,
Yeah.
paid for it. So I think I made $150, and then whoever became a follower of that account ended up posting the pictures that I posted on WikiFeet.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so then I was like, I should just post foot pics, whatever, and complete 180 on the hiding the feet. So now my feet are available for viewing on Instagram and WikiFeet.
Dope.
Yeah. I wish I had known, or else I would have really vamped up the feet pics I was taking for the Instagram account.
And what's your Instagram and your podcast? We'll do some plugs now, and then we'll round it out with another segment or two.
Okay, my Instagram is @NotAllieMac, and my podcast is Resting Bitch with Allie Macofsky.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Check it out, guys. Let's see. I'm going to ask another question or two. Oh, this is, a lot of people were curious about this. I think because you have talked about it on a bunch of podcasts. Call Me That Don. Have you had an orgasm yet?
Not quite, but we're getting there.
Almost.
Yeah, we're
Making
getting there.
progress.
We're making progress.
There you go.
Yeah.
Chipping away at the old woodchuck.
Yeah, that's what I call my vagina, my woodchuck chuck.
Yeah.
And how much wood can it chuck? A lot, but it's not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's not getting pleasure from getting woodchuck.
I call my wiener Chuck D, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because he's a public enemy. Hello. What? Stupid. Okay. Let's see. ___ Keith on Instagram. What's your craziest story while touring with Rogan?
Going to the UFC. Also, this is my favorite. Okay, so I was on the road with Rogan and Tony, and we were in, I don't know where we were. I want to say either like Colorado or maybe, I think we were in, I don't know. But we were going out. Joe likes to go to like, get food before the show or like during the day before the show. So it's like me, him, and Tony, and we're going out to eat before we head to the show. And there was like a steakhouse in the hotel that we were staying at, and they were completely booked up because this was the same night as like some other big event in town, or maybe it was, I don't know. The whole place is packed, and I'm assuming like a lot of the people who were at that steakhouse were gonna go to Joe's show. You know what I mean? Like, It was like that was the big event, was his arena show.
Sure.
So the steakhouse was full. We can't get in, but there's a what's the place? Tilted Kilt, right next door, which is kind of like a Hooters type of place.
All right.
So it's like not great food. It's like a gimmick restaurant where like people are dressed up. There's a theme to it. And Joe's like a successful, wealthy dude, like, and so they wouldn't let us into the steakhouse. So he's like, why don't we just go to this place? So we go, and it was just the funniest picture, like picturing Joe eating a tilted kilt. And then we ended up having a great time. I forget who else was there. There was some of his friends were
You guys
there.
like sit in a booth or that kind of thing?
Just a round table. Everyone's
table.
taking pictures when we're leaving. The people sitting next to us were like, we're going to your show. We're so excited. But it's just us eating all these like fried calamaris, like just like bar food essentially. Sure. And it was just the funniest because anytime, I get to go out to eat with them, it's like very nice places. So the fact that we were like a chain franchised, like
that's kind of cool that people like were all like, I bet they were so shocked to see you guys in there too. Like
100%.
You know what I mean? Like they're about to go see the big show.
But then I felt bad because we walked in and I start laughing because it's just funny picturing Joe Rogan eating at a tilted kilt,
Yeah.
So we're just walking in and I'm like laughing, and one of the servers thought that I was laughing at her because of the, like she just thought that I was like making fun of her or something. So she was giving me so much attitude. I felt so bad. I was like, no, you just have to understand that this is a very weird scenario that I never saw myself being in 10 minutes ago. But it was the only place that was open. Shout out to Tilted Kilt.
Shout out to Tilted Kilt, and Baked Love Wings.
And it's also cool because it was like, he doesn't give a fuck. He's like, I just want to get food before the show.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you do need that fuel. It doesn't matter. It's like, let's just get food. Doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
I wanna do this last. I prepared one more song for you because you said that this one was karaoke go-to for you.
Could I do a voice?
If you want, yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. 'Cause life's like this. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's the way it is. Chill out, what you yelling for? Lay back, it's all been done before. And if you could only let it be, you will see I like you the way you are. When we're driving in your car and you're talking to me one-on-one, but you become somebody else around everyone else. You're watching your back, but you can't relax. Trying to be cool, you look like a fool to me. Tell me why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like this, and you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into honesty and promise me I'm never gonna find you faking. No, no, no. You messed up like you're someone else. Where you are and where it's at, you see, you're making me laugh out when you strike your pose. Take off all your preppy clothes. You know you're not fooling anyone when you become somebody else around everyone else. You're watching your back like you can't relax. Trying to be cool, you look like a fool to me. Tell me why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like this, and you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into honesty and promise me I'm never gonna find you faking. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no.
go and make things so complicated. I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like this, you and you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get. Promise me something you never.
Promise me you're never gonna find you fake it.
No,
No, no.
no.
Ali Macofsky. Ali Lavigne, everybody.
Related to Adam Levine, not Avril. Maroon 5.
Maroon
plus
5.
one.
Last segment, we're going to round out with something that I like called Sax Talk. Oh, Sax Talk. All right. Allie's going to share a story of a sexual encounter while I play some sweet, sweet sax along with her. You ready for this, Allie?
I'm ready.
Okay.
It all started at a college house party. I was attending Cal State San Marcos in North County, San Diego. Now, when I say San Diego, you might be thinking of a beautiful beach town, but let me tell you, San Marcos, far from it. Everyone who went to that school got in. Not hard to get into. I saw service dogs on campus. I thought they were helping out the students. Turns out they were also students. The college parties weren't quite what you think of when you watch a movie about a coming-of-age story. There's a lot of Four Locos to pregame and a lot of hard drugs that you need aluminum foil to postgame. I was at a house riddled with flags everywhere from different states, different sports teams, a lot of flags. And that's when I met him. I wish I had his name, but I don't remember it. Doesn't matter what his name was, we went upstairs where the bathroom was and we locked the doors. When the doors were locked, the pants came off. We had sex on the bathroom floor, which was disgusting and filled with hair from the face from a lot of places. It was damp and it was dark, and I was damp and he was dark. The next day, well, I guess I'll get into the sex part. We had sex. The next day, I get a text from him saying, "Hey, do I need to get tested?" Great question, Chad, Tyler, Kyler, Skyler, Trevor, whatever your name was. You didn't use protection, and if you want to get tested, you should have. Here's the thing, I knew I didn't have anything on me because I visit the doctor regularly. Like I said, I have insurance. But I understand his confusion because as someone who uses a dull razor blade, I had a lot of bumps on my crotch from shaving. I said to Skylar, Tyler, Trevor, Kevin, whatever your name was, I said, "You don't need to get tested. I don't have herpes, just a lot of ingrown hairs." The only thing you have is low self-esteem, and the only thing I need is a Chic Quattro 5-blade razor. I get laser hair removal.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Those ain't herpes. Those are razor bumps,
Yeah,
girl.
they are. A lot of ingrown hair. His mama's got that Russian coarse hair.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Russian coarse hair?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Learn stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Allie, thank you so much for doing the show. Man, it was great to see a friend in person and get to hang out and just be silly and sing and do voices. It's like my favorite thing to do. So,
Yes, thanks for having me on.
yeah, hope to hang soon.